Okay, fellow TIs, I have a some good news for you all. Um, Prior to the testing that I've done on my body for quite some time when it came to this nanotech, you all have heard me speak before about a scenario to where when I was using the right frequencies, that it would actually cause the nano to exit out of my feet and whatnot. I could actually feel the whole thing shift because of it being a swarm. Here's one thing that I've done a little while ago. I was meaning to definitely put it on the channel a lot sooner than usual. It slipped my mind, and my apologies about that because this will help a lot of people out. Okay, so all you gotta do, you can even have this on you, even during your day. Now, I'm not telling people. Now, when you put this on, I'm not telling you to put it on super tight. Okay, just make sure that it's this tied at a comfortable degree to where it's still somewhat a little tight, but just to where it's comfortable. I did this once before, and it was tight, and I went to sleep, and I was actually able to get some good sleep because of it. But guess what happened around the time when I woke up? When I woke up, I could actually feel the nano on right alongside the thing that which I had tied, right? In case you're wondering where this tie, this basically this it could be a rope, shoestring, whatever. It doesn't matter. You basically loop this around your crown. Right where your forehead is, behind the ears, all the way to the back of the head, and then you just have it tied from there, all the way around the skull. Now, what happened was this caused the nano to actually build up in that one particular spot, meaning it wasn't. I was still able to get blood flowing, but it was created like a filter for this nano, meaning it was just clogging up all of there. Now you may be wondering how would you even know that was happening? Simple, because I could actually feel my small um what do they call that? Small inductions of static electricity all along the edge of that rope that I had tied to my skull. It takes a little while before you feel that, but when I did that, I noticed that it actually lessened some of the symptoms down, as far as the directed energy symptoms, like as far as either the V2K or some of the things, even for the freaking and you see, that's just it. I don't know how much of a degree it does it, but I know for a fact that it did it so much that I actually was able to get some sleep. My breathing even started to, normalize as a result too. So go ahead and try it out if you want. It's your choice to do so. One of the other things, the reason why I also wanted to mention this for you all, because it isn't just doing that to create that filter for that nano, but also I thought about something. If I'm able to filter this stuff and keep it caked up in one spot, how about I take a pair of headphones with the right frequency for blood cleanse, right? And have that play on that exact spot, killing, immediately forcing this stuff into a stagnant, basically a stationary position, and then just bombarding it with with the blood flow right frequency to kill it off. So that's what I started to think. Because every time I listen to it, they always shift towards my feet, away from the right frequency. Every time. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give that a try. I'm gonna try that first thing tonight, and I'm gonna do this for the next couple of nights, and then I'm gonna give you guys an update on it. Again, you can either wait until I give the update on how I fared off from trying it, but I still felt the need to mention this to fellow TIs out there. So again, if you ever find yourself in the middle of going, trying to get some sleep, definitely try that. But be prepared because I don't know how severe the attacks may be afterwards, and it's very unpredictable. Be mindful of your schedule if you're still currently working, if you got anything going on, be mindful of all of that because remember, they're gonna try to lace you as best they can, just as well as you're getting yourself off this out of the system. I believe if you fully get yourself free of this technology, they're gonna be super pissed off about it. They are. Um, this is why, especially in times like this, you know, I can't stress this enough, but you must have some kind of protection on. If they basically fixed it to where you know you can't even get your hands on like any kind of protective thing or whatever, mace is just as good as anything. It's always good to have like a variety of self-defense things. You got mace. The last resort is always a firearm, though, right? So you got mace. Mace is one method of defense, but it should not be used um, before in exchange of words. As an example, that video I showed you guys, right? If you can talk the situation down, tone the whole thing down to where it's not escalating, and then you don't buy into their crap, like how I didn't fall for that mess, then you don't have to worry about anything. But I'm telling you, some of these people who do this crap, they're not looking to have a conversation. They're just there to just basically steal, kill, and destroy. So definitely be careful out there, because in regards to the stuff I've actually witnessed out there, and some of the stuff I had to deal with, dude, they tried so many damn attempts, so many. So again, when you try this method, be mindful, because as far as I know, when I was staying in my apartment, every time I would do something that really was effing with their technology, they definitely let me know some way or another that it was working. But you also got to be careful about that too, because they could very well just be sending goons around you just to say something, to give a false, to basically try to pretty much trigger a false reaction. What I mean by the false reaction is giving you the wrong idea, and then you believing that actually works, and then okay, well, this is a bunch of bullshit. So be very careful of that too. Just like the situation with Mike Chapala, I believe his due to what I've experienced and stuff I've been using, I believe his invention works. Problem is, the people who've been using his invention, I don't believe those people changed their diets around. I don't believe that they had themselves in a position to where they weren't coming back home. They could actually leave home and come back, and nobody else had access to their place. What I mean by this is, you could have very well used these things, and basically, because of you're not being strict on your diet, because you got to cut some of that stuff out. And it isn't just your diet; it's your daily routine, the stuff you use. Even when you take your baths, your showers, or whatever the hell you take, a lot of this stuff you got to really change your whole dynamic around, because I'm telling you, dude, these products that they use, ladies out there, cosmetics is filled with nanotech. There was a female TI who confirmed this, because she said she had used some of her makeup, and she felt the little bastards all moving around her face. You want to know why they put it in that? Because there are components in there for it to assimilate. So, understand, basically your skin is like it's pretty much an organ. Whatever you put onto your skin's absorbing that something. So again, the method that I was mentioning before is basically this. You take a durable type of string or rope. You do not tie this thing into a knot. Understand? You tie it like you would tie a shoestring in a bow. You do that. You tighten it a bit, just enough to where it is tight, but comfortably tight. Okay. Now you can tighten a little bit more, but I'm not trying to get it's completely your choice. I mean, I've done it. I woke up just fine, and that's exactly how I was able to feel all that nanotech just on the edge of that rope like that underneath my skin. I felt those shocks, and today is the first day I'm trying this, with a little lenience to it, to where just as I mentioned before, it's somewhat tight, but it's tied in a bow and it's not too tight, basically. So, you could even walk around doing this. This just check the effects of, because how they try to, manipulate your behavior as you're out and about. If you're wondering, you could basically like have this like underneath the seam of a hat, of any kind of cap or whatever. You could have a sun hat, you could have a regular cap, and just have the tie knot, tucked into the actual cap itself. And nobody would be nobody would be the wiser. Best to have, this not. It's best to use like a shoestring for this, because at least that wouldn't be so large, and it could actually just blend in with the cap perfectly. You know. But again, that's 100% your choice to try this out. This is a method I've chose, and I believe that it will actually help. Considering that the nanoswarm's trying to get away from it. If you can create a filter to where it cannot get away from it, then technically you stand a huge chance of killing it off. But understand, this stuff is highly advanced technology. It does have the ability to repair itself. This is why the anti-nano bucket or barrel is one of the other logical solutions. I still hate that I had to leave the barrel behind, but it is what it is on that one. So anyway, to those people who did use Michael Chapala's invention as well, look, you should not be eating any canned goods. You should not be eating anything with high fructose corn syrup in it. You should not be eating any type of grain or any kind of vegetable, because I'm telling you, it isn't, whether they call it organic or not, this stuff that they spray in the sky, this nano stuff, this nano smart dust that they spray out there in these chem dumps, that stuff gets into the food. That's what's reprogramming you each time. Don't blame the people who are trying to help you. Blame the fucked up industry out there that's just really trying to poison you. Because if anything, one thing I realized is that these perpetrators who basically, and this should be an eye opener to most TIs out there. Hell, all TIs. If you've seen on the Mischievous M channel, because very few people saw this, you'll notice there was a guy out there who I was bringing up his channel, and that he was discrediting a TI that was in New York City. I brought the attention to that, and I figured out, eventually he came and attacked me on, talking about one of my videos that I came out with when it came about the ingredients. I was talking about the stuff that actually kills the Magellans out of your system. And the borax too. He tried the reverse psychology method to basically try to put words in my mouth, and I corrected that situation. After that, I ended it. I'm not playing the whole back and forth, because you see this channel, any of my channels, it's not for that. Period. It isn't for that. I say my piece on the matter. Even if I say something out of line when it comes to a situation, I say my piece and I end it. You ain't got no time for bickering. I don't care who's wrong, who's right in that situation. If someone, people make mistakes, but at the same time, everybody's being manipulated in some sort of way when it comes to this technology. So we got to be careful of, especially the videos we put out there. Got to be careful. But this is definitely something I've tried. I haven't done it in a little while, and I've been meaning to start back up on it again. They probably use manipulation to get me to forget about it, really, because that has happened before, more than I can count, actually. One of the other things, a way to get nano out of your jaws and your mouth and all that type of stuff. Here's a method for that. Basically, get like just get, I'd say like two, maybe like spoonfuls of baking soda. Put that along with some alkaline water in your mouth. Now, what I mean by alkaline water that has a high alkaline level, Fiji water works best for this. Get some of that, and get yourself some baking soda. Leave that. Don't swallow it. Do not swallow it. Just Just put that in your mouth. Um, do what you do with mouthwash. You would basically, you don't have to gargle, but splash it around, shake it up in your mouth or whatever, right? And then let it sit. Let it sit for about a good 20 minutes. You're gonna start to feel this live nano that is all in your mouth, all around in that area, in your gums, in your lips, in your tongue, everywhere, even in your uvula. You're gonna start feeling this stuff coming out and start moving around, all around your lips. You're gonna start feeling this. I've done this for quite some time, but and that's just another method to getting this stuff out of your system. But the one thing that worked the best, even that I used, was that recipe. That recipe is the best damn thing I used. Unfortunate thing about it is simple. It was the fact that the environment I was in. I was still working at the time when I used that recipe, and these bastards were always relacing me every time. Every time I looked around, whenever I had to get a new suit, they even made this stupid mandatory thing saying, "No, it's mandatory. You get a new suit. It's mandatory. You get a new suit." Just to make damn certain I got relaced. I had to actually skip certain times from even changing that damn thing as a result, for my own protection. But that crap's in the past. I've already long since gotten myself out of that situation. And dwelling on the past is futile. You can't change the past, but you can seek to make things better for the future. You know, that's where we need to be at. We need to be able to make things better during the present in order to ensure a brighter future for all, not just us, but for the next generation. But I don't know, man. Like, there's been a lot of people saying, we're reaching the end, we're in the end of times and stuff like that. And the end of days is basically the end of this this whole thing here, and there ain't gonna be a next thing. We just basically exit this reality into the next, and basically exiting out of this life into the next life. We'll see in the next couple of in the coming days on what will happen. In the end, I leave that up to God. That's God's decision when that happens. You know, the trick is to not stop God's plans from happening, but to at least boost awareness of the manipulation and the sinister plots that these evil people, who are basically Satanists too, are pretty much pushing to have happen to the whole population, to at least spread as much knowledge as possible, to help save as many people as we can, to at least do and spread as much awareness as we can, so people do not fall for this, because for all the mess that's going on out there, that's been put out there to basically lead people astray, get people to do things that if they had known better and they known what it was, then they would have done it otherwise. But anyway, that's all I got to share for the day. I'm probably gonna come any other methods I come up with besides that. I will. I will. Bring that up in the next couple of vids that I will be posting. It was as far as who was that oh yeah I believe her channel's name is Barefoot Stargazer. I saw your message. You gotta forgive me though. Like they I was meaning to respond to it earlier, but like they will mess with your stuff to where like it'll post, but I won't get the notification for it until like several hours later. They got it. They're fixing it up like either like that, or I just don't see them at all. I don't even see the light count isn't even coming out right. And even if dude, they have gone so bad with this. And it's all, what it's all for. It's basically to just prevent people from communicating on the thing about certain events. It's just to suppress information, to suppress communication, and that's it. That's all there is to it. The devil works in some really screwed up, mischievous ways, man. Seriously. But you know something? You want to know why these demonic individuals send these goons to do these, these despicable things, and some of the most vile, nasty, bully type of behavior? Because they want to corrupt your soul. They send these individuals to do these nasty deeds to promote negativity. They hit you with these directed energy weapons and these frequencies to promote negative responses. Everything that has to do with what they're doing is all in the negative. That is very unhealthy. Very unhealthy. It's very unhealthy to have a one-track mind based on all negativity. Fellow TIs, be mindful of self-harm when it comes to this. Create yourself an extra channel to where like if you wanted to just watch TV on on YouTube, you can just do that. Just have a spare channel for that, so that you're not bombarded. When you're trying to just relax and actually reflect, and has you can't do that when you got constant reminders of the torment that's going on. It could be someone else's torment, and it's a constant reminder of what your torment is. You have to take breaks from this stuff. You have to do that. And don't I would say watch TV, but as we already know, that's just as bad, because they've got constant reminders through these stupid commercials. All of this madness that's going on, either through the commercials and all of this stuff, and all of the media is controlled. Be mindful though. They started up the sports again as a distraction. They started the election as a distraction, and we got to be mindful of the things that that is being shown, as well as the stuff that is not being shown. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. As always, stay safe, stay strong out there.